agenda, we'll be recapping on the following. So input function, print function, operators, variables, and variable types. After that, we'll move on to our warm-up challenge. Then after our warm-up challenge, we will then split all of you into 3 separate breakout rooms where we will have a more hands-on experience to build a calculator. Okay, so with that, let's start with the recap session. So firstly, we'll recap on input function. So this is how the syntax should look like. You start with input, and then you have the open bracket, and then you can put your string inside, like whatever you wish to print out. So for example, you want the user to enter their name. So you want to put this instruction here. So enter your name, and then you put a close quotation mark and the close bracket. So how it will look like if you actually run this would be, it will be an enter your name, and then there will be a box for you to fill in where you can put in your name. So that's the input function. Then we recap the print function. So the syntax would be print, open bracket, and your open quotation mark, and then you put anything you want to print out. So in this case, it's hello world, close your quotation mark and close your bracket. What will happen if you run this line of code would be this output. So it will come up with hello world. Next, we'll recap the operators. So these are the different operators that we can use. Addition would just be a plus sign. Subtraction would be a minus. And multiplication, you use an asterisk. Division, you use a slash. And next, we will recap on variable and its types. So firstly, a variable is a place to store information in a program. So you can think of it like a box. So something like this. And you put a value inside the box. So for example, my value, I want it to be 12. But this box also has a type. So it can be an integer, a string, a float, or a boolean, which we will go through in a while. And also, you must always remember to give your variable a name. So I gave this variable a name x. So x has a value 12. So here are the different variable types that we have. Firstly, int, which is integer for short. Integer value means it does not have a decimal point. So for example, if you want to give your variable x a value 5, you will just have to type x equals 5. Next type of variable is float, where it's a real number value with decimal point. So similarly, I want to give my variable x a value of 5.5, then I just have to type x equals 5.5. Next is bool, which is boolean for short, which means it has logical values such as true or false. So you have x equals true, which means your variable x has a value true. Oh no, this shouldn't be integer, it should be string. So str, which should give you text characters between either a single quotation mark or a double quotation mark. So it can be x equals open quotation mark, hello world, close quotation mark. So this has a variable type of a string. So with that, we're done with our recap session. Remember, if you have any questions, feel free to just put them in the chat. Okay, with that, let's move on to the warm-up challenge. So the challenge for you is write a program that accepts the user's name as text and age as an integer as input. The program should output a sentence containing the user's name and current age and age in 10 years' time. So when you look at this challenge, here are some questions that you should be thinking about. So firstly, what input variables should you have? Secondly, what should you output in the end? And lastly, how do you get the age in 10 years' time? So let's look through the first question. So what input variables should you have? So I'll just give you all a moment to think about it. If you want, you can put it in the chat or what input variables you think you should have. So I see string for name and integer for age. So that's right. So I highlighted user's name and age. So it should give you something like name and age. And your name should be a string and your age should be an integer. Very good. Okay, then we look at the next question, which is what should you output in the end? So same thing, I'll give you all a moment to think about it. What should you output in the end? Feel free to put it in the chat. So I see some responses, very good. Okay, yep, that all looks correct. So, okay, so what should you output in the end? So you should output a sentence containing the user's name and current age and age in 10 years time. So if you want, you can also just remove the current age part and just put in like, hello, you will be, and then you put in age after 10 years old in 10 years time. So what it will come out as, it'll be hello. For example, I put my name, which is Shermaine. It'll be hello, Shermaine. You will be, so I'm currently 19, so it'll be 29. So it'll be hello, Shermaine. You will be 29 years old in 10 years time. So this is how you should format it such that you get the output that you want. And lastly, how do you get the age in 10 years time? You can think about it, put in your answer in the chat. Yes, correct. So you just have to add 10. So age after 10 years equals age, which is what you got at the start. And then you just plus 10. And with that, let's look at the final solution. So for example, name equals input, enter your name. Age equals integer, input, enter your current age. So why I put this integer at the front is to make sure that the user actually gives me an integer value, because your age should be an integer value. So I put an int before the input. After that, I get my age after 10 years, which is age plus 10. And then I print out like this. So this is how it look like. It will start with enter your name. So I entered Shermaine. Then they ask you to enter your current age. So I entered 19. And then lastly, it will just print out, hello, Shermaine, you will be 29 in 10 years time. So it looks like everyone is ready to go. So with that, okay, before we move on to our breakout rooms, does anyone have any questions? Feel free to put it in the chat.
There was a question asked earlier. It says, how do you define a variable if I want to initiate as quote empty?
Oh, wait, empty as in like null, like no value at all? Or
that's how I understood it.
Okay, then if you wanted to have like no value at all, you can put like, for example, your variable name is X, so X equals none. So you can just type NONE. So capital N, and then the rest would be small letters. Yeah. No problem at all. Okay, I think that's it. Yep, that's right. What Alina said. Okay. Okay, then I guess we will move on to our actual Build a Calculator challenge. So today, other than Stephanie and I, we also have Alina who will be guiding you guys in the challenge. So we're splitting into 3 groups. Alina, would you like to introduce yourself to the group?
Happy Sunday, or almost Monday for some folks. My name is Alwina Oyewole Turner. I am also a Python, a Women Who Code Python volunteer. This is actually my first time volunteering, so be easy on me. But yeah, just part of the community for a long time and just here to help. And yeah, looking forward to meeting some of you in the room.
Yay, thank you, Alina. Okay, so right now I will assign the breakout rooms.
I'm ready to create the breakout rooms as soon as you let me know.
Oh, okay. Then you can create it now.
Okay, fantastic.
Thank you so much, Stephanie.
All right. Good luck, everyone.
Okay, so hope everyone had fun in your breakout rooms. And here is just a sample solution on the problem that we all worked on. So you probably had about 3 input variables, and then you learned a bit more about if, elif loops, and then as well as your print function. So this is how your calculator should somehow look like. So good job to everyone for completing this challenge today. And so remember to stay connected with us, and we have more COLAB sessions upcoming. So our next one would be on September 5th, and then 12th, and then 19th. So for each session, we will be doing a new challenge, and we'll go through more like newer concepts. And we'll also learn like some new concepts that we wouldn't be covering during the content session. So I hope to see all of y'all there. And Stephanie, would you like to update them on the change in dates for the content session?
Sure. So just so everyone knows, the session that was originally planned for this coming Thursday, August 26th at 8 p.m. Eastern will be moved to September 9th. And then the following session, which will be Functions Revisited, will be moved from September 9th to September 16th the following week. Thank you, Shermaine.
No problem. So if anyone has any more questions, feel free to put it into the chat. And also remember to join our Slack channel at #BeginnerPythonStudyGroup. And with that, thank you so much for your time today, and have a good day, have a good night, depending on where you're at. And yeah, thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you so much.